Hello, I'm Genevieve Lewis and welcome to Sign 7 News, bringing you the latest stories from the last week in the sign and wide format print industries. This week, going green with Texo Trade Services, Kernow Coatings floors it with new media, Compass Business Finance on latest loan scheme, and fishing boat wraps are a catch. First, Texo Trade Services has launched a new line of sustainable textile products to help its customers become more environmentally friendly. All the solutions in the green textiles range are made from recycled PET yarn and, like the company's whole textile range, is 100% PVC-free. Texo Trade Services says the new solutions will help customers to meet market demand. Next, printable digital synthetic papers manufacturer Kernow Coatings has rolled out a new printable PVC-free outdoor floor graphic media. Forming part of the existing Kernow Jet wide format range, the new Roadshark 200 XFG is designed for use on outdoor applications. The product also features a low slip certification for both wet and dry conditions and is also customizable. Now, throughout the pandemic, Compass Business Finance has been providing the print and wide format print industries with guidance and support for government loans and schemes. The company has now been accredited by the British Business Bank to offer the Recovery Loan Scheme. Gareth Evans spoke to Jamie Nelson, director of the company, who told us more.
When COVID hit, Compass were an EFG accredited lender, which is the Enterprise Finance Guarantee Scheme. We had been accredited for probably a couple of years at that stage. That is the scheme that the government used to engineer into the CBILS scheme, the Coronavirus Business Interruption Loan Scheme. So if you were an accredited lender, you automatically became an accredited lender under the CBILS scheme. So overnight, Compass became an accredited CBILS lender. And as you can imagine, there was a lot of companies out in the market who were looking for help. And we were inundated, not only in our own sectors, but with businesses completely outside of our sector. Compass are a lender in their own right and a broker. And we did a lot of loans. We did a lot of restructuring of finances, mergers, acquisitions. There's been a lot of that type of activity going on. Cash generating in terms of refinances to help businesses through this period, through the CBILS scheme, which gave them either zero payments in the first 12 months or capital only payments in the first 12 months. CBILS applications came to an end of March, and then deals had to be approved at the end of May, and we've got a few months to distribute the rest of those funds, but that scheme's closed. The successor scheme, which was announced by the government in March, was the RLS scheme, which is Recovery Loan Scheme. So effectively, they wanted a successor product that would help businesses through the recovery period post-pandemic. So under CBILS, the government provided the lender with an 80% guarantee and would pay the interest and fees in the first 12 months, which obviously meant that the customer would get access to cash and loan payments in the first 12 months to help them through the pandemic. The RLS scheme, they still provide the lender the 80% guarantee in the background. So that gives the lenders the confidence in a challenging market to lend, but they're not providing the interest cover or the interest to be paid by the government in the first 12 months. The borrower is immediately liable for all repayments. Under this scheme, you are allowed to have an RLS loan, even if you've had a CBILS loan or a bounce back loan or a CL bills, which is just CBILS for larger businesses. They've also increased the amount you can have in one business. So the cap under CBILS was 5 million, it's now 10 million, and it's 30 million in a group at the upper end. And it's there to help businesses get access post-pandemic as they recover, as they're investing, or if they need cash flow, whether they're doing mergers and acquisitions. I would suggest that in most cases, it's going to be applicable. It may not be that they need it. Now, normal lending routes are still open, and if your business is still strong, creditworthy, then you may well still be able to access finance. But the idea of RLS is additionality. And by that, what I mean is if customers are struggling to get finance, this enables them to do so in circumstances where they may not have been able to, or B, if they want to improve the terms of that finance, So, the terms that have been offered aren't acceptable to them because the repayment period's too short, or the guarantees are too large, or whatever it may be. RLS gives the lender that comfort where maybe they can extend those terms or make them more acceptable to the customer. It's open till the end of this year for applications. That is the cut-off point at the moment. Whether that gets extended or not, we don't know. I suspect it'll get reviewed in the final quarter of this year by the government to see where we are with recovery from the pandemic and what's required in the markets or in the economy. And that remains to be seen.
And finally, a format sign writer is using his artistic skills to produce eye-catching wraps for fishing boats across Australia. Fish Wreck is a company which produces striking boat wraps designed by marine artists and fitted by a network of installers. Paul Shaw, owner of Fish Wreck, opts for Avery Dennison films to transform the boats and an overlaminate with edge sealant to protect the wrap. That's all for this week's Sign 7 news, but for now you can stay up to date with all of the news in the industry at signlink.co.uk, view much more video content at sign7tv.com, or you can join in with the conversation on Twitter and LinkedIn. We will see you next week.